name is Kait Spraul. I'm the Coding and Compliance Manager at ESSA Health. I manage a team of 3 coding and compliance specialists and a team of 10 clinical chart abstractors. I think 100% it's required. I know that it's being practiced in ESSA because you see people being forthright with one another, with trusting one another, being completely honest and open and willing to share and hear feedback from their other employees. Another way we know is we do a couple different surveys throughout the length of time that we've had Judy with us, and we've gotten our scores back, and you can tell that based on all of our scores, we're going up in trustworthiness and in all other areas that we measure. This process has taught me to not only trust other people, but to trust myself. So knowing that I'm being 100% straightforward and honest with everyone that I work with, and I expect that in return from them, and I know that I'm getting that because they're getting the same education, so to say, same practice as I'm getting. I feel like everyone in our company sees one another in a totally new light, that we all really get along. We want to be here, we want to be with one another, and we want each other to succeed. With my direct supervisor, Erin, I feel more able to come to her with any issues that I have without fear of being struck down or being judged by my questions or my concerns. With my peers, Kristen and Jared, I feel more comfortable with them. I feel like we're kind of a team and leading this company to the culture change that we're trying to thrust into our society. From my mentoring and training sessions, first off, I get a chance to be seen and be heard by someone directly. That's something in the corporate world that maybe is a little bit difficult. You kind of feel like a little fish in a big sea, but in my mentoring sessions, I feel important and I feel listened to. I also love the fact that I'm able to practice the tools that we learn in our sessions one-on-one, so that I can then take it back to the actual scenario that's happening and practice it live in real life. The mentoring of my people, I get a chance to ask them questions that don't come up in a day-to-day. You have to take time to ask them how they're doing with their relationships and with their productivity, and how they feel about it themselves, and not just necessarily basing it on their numbers. Knowing how they feel gives me an opportunity to better manage them and better help them succeed. Honestly, my favorite part about the training sessions is that we get a chance to get together as a big team, and we all get to hear one another's opinions on the different modules that we're going over, the different things that we're learning, and hearing everyone's personal experience with them and their personal struggles kind of makes you feel a little bit better about how you're doing and how you're taking on the new challenges that the modules are approaching, because they are difficult at first, but knowing that you're in it together and you get a chance to be among your peers and practice them is invaluable. I was having a difficult time getting through to one of the physicians that I work with closely. I had to present some pretty difficult information to him, and I had later found out, was in the goal of significance, and he wanted to power over me and use this very puffed up image that he was a physician and he knew better, even though what he was talking about maybe wasn't necessarily related to what I was trying to get across to him about his coding. And so I was able to work with him and use the redirect tool on him so that he could gain a better understanding of where I was coming from. And now he's a team player. He sees that I'm on his side and I'm just trying to help him and help improve his overall documentation and coding strategy. So all in all, it worked. It was great. It was nice to practice first before I went in, because it was a little nerve-wracking trying to talk to a physician about something so delicate. But once he saw that we were on the same team and we all had the same goal, it was a much different story. The way I would have handled it previously, without knowing what redirect even is I would have gone in and told him this is how it is and tried to puff myself up and make myself seem like, no, I know what I'm talking about. And I would have walked away and we wouldn't have come to any sort of agreement or solution. We would have left it as that we were both right in what we said and nothing would have gotten better. But previously, in my meetings with him before Redirect or before Lifeworks in general, I always walked away so upset and so discouraged in every meeting And now he really relies on me to give him the best feedback that I can. He sees me as a trusted team member. We have a great relationship now. I would tell the company that is well worth your time and well worth your investment. The satisfaction of helping your employees grow personally and professionally with the use of Lifeworks is showing them that not only do you value their work, but you value them as a person. And I mean, these concepts can be applied in your real life scenarios with your family or with your kids. So it's something that they'll always carry with them, and they'll recognize that, and they'll be able to really take ownership and really love what they're doing because you're deciding that they're worth it. So the group who is chosen to take on Lifeworks is the size of about 40 employees. Our company here at the Central Business Office is about 100 employees. Company-wide with all of our sites, it's maybe around 500. So we're a very small portion of the company that's chosen to do this. I can say that the other departments, you can almost tell when you're trying to communicate with someone who hasn't had the opportunity to take on Lifeworks is they're not as open to hearing what you have to say. Maybe they don't necessarily understand your communication strategies, or they're just not as good as we are at relaying information to one another. So I would say to them that they should really consider it, because the culture change that we're building over here in this small corner of the company, it can make such a dramatic impact on all aspects of the organization and really thrust us into achieving our company goals, not just HIM goals. I think the most challenging for me was redirect, because I feel like I'm not someone who really likes to have confrontation with people or to really tell them what I'm truly thinking. Being open and honest with someone and trying to get them to better understand and better meet a result that you would like is difficult for me. It's not my initial jerk reaction to different situations. So trying to reprogram my brain to take a step back and really understand what I'm feeling before I react is something that was very, very difficult for me. But through practice and consistent practice and training sessions and real life scenarios, it's just become almost second nature. The advantage of working from purpose and values is that you really have something concrete to grab onto and something that you can keep in the back of your mind every day. So having our purpose, it's our driving force, so we see that in everything we do, we keep our purpose at the forefront, and it makes all of the small things that maybe we have to do for our job seem a little bit bigger and more important, and it kind of ties everything together. The values, they're very similar to our company values, which is kind of cool in my opinion, but it really it keeps everyone on the same page, and it reminds you that these things are important to this organization, and reminds you of this is who we are and this is why we're here.